Good morning, everyone. Good morning, good morning, good morning. It is Tuesday, what is today? February 9th, and it's a beautiful sunny day out there. It's gorgeous out there. We got snow again yesterday. It's chilly. I think chill factor is only 4 above right now, but it could be worse. Could be up in Houghton where my son's at Michigan Tech, which the chill factor is, I think it warmed up to a negative 19. So anyhow, any case, thank you for joining this morning. We'll start the meditation at 10:02 in just about another minute and a half. Okay, thanks so much. And for whoever is joining right now, meditation will start in another minute at 10:02. Okay, thanks for joining this morning. Thank you. Okay, it's 10:02. Good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning. You may be looking at me and see that my eye is a bit squirrely. Again today, this is about the third day. Something's going on with it. I've just been kind of praying and being present with it, and that's my approach, to just give it over to God. And if I call to take further action on it, I will. But much of what I've done over the last several years have been asked to let go of my vitamins and let go of certain things that my mind tells me that I need and I should be doing. So it's always a bit of a trust process, but the beautiful part of it is it really helps me to be practice presence, because my mind worries and then my true self is able to observe those worries and not be pulled into the drama of them. So it's a beautiful practice, actually, if we're being present and conscious to be aware of it. So in any case, I switched my camera up a little bit. Hopefully you have some good audio. I took it away from the laptop a little bit because I feel like I might have been getting a little feedback from there. Hopefully you're getting a nice crisp clear sound this morning, and I've got a headset that's on its way too, because I want to make sure the audio is good, and I have had some problems. Okay, enough words. Let's meditate. So just allowing yourself to be nice and comfortable, whatever you're on. And it's okay to, whether you're on a chair, or some people use what's called a back jack, that you can sit on the floor. It holds you up just to feel more grounded to the earth. That's wonderful. But you can also be on the sit or lay on the couch or lay on the bed. Ideally to not fall asleep, and it's okay if you do. My teacher used to say, if you fall asleep, then your body probably needed it. But with that said, meditation is really about being conscious and aware. And when we drift off to sleep, of course, most people lose their awareness, their consciousness, unless you're having lucid dreams and recognize that you are not there. So whatever you're on is perfect, and just allowing whatever that physical thing is, just allowing it to fully support your body, so that there's no effort, there's no stress, there's just a surrendering, knowing that you're metaphorically in the hands of God, just in the hands of God, just allowing God to support you, allowing life to support you, allowing love and peace and joy to support you. And there's nowhere you need to go. There's nothing you need to do other than just be here now. Who knows, maybe the most powerful words in our language, be here now. Or maybe to even more powerful is I am here now. Because the core truth of who we are doesn't need to have the what's the word? The inspiration to be here now. It is here now. You, your true self, is here, is you right now. And we use the body to hear those words, and we use the body for many things to get around in this lifetime from a physical perspective, but the core self can get around just fine. But we have been drawn and called to have this experience here in this body, in this life, to learn certain things to help us to remember that core truth of who we already are. And I feel like I want to talk about my eye, my eye that I see out of with this body, as an example to how we can live from a physical perspective. It used to be that I would take all kinds of vitamins, and by the way, I am not discouraging you to take vitamins. It's really not about taking them or not taking them. It's about following up on what you feel called to do, that intuitive knowing that says, I need to take some vitamin C. I'm ready to let go of taking vitamins. Whatever it is, it's perfect for you when you're following your own inner intuition, your own intuitive knowing. And I also used to do things, and I still have a water filtration system that I really enjoy, the Berkey water filtration system. Wonderful. If anyone's interested, you can find out more from me. I don't sell them. I'm just mentioning it, endorsing them because I like them. But what's also true is I used to have a shower filter as well. And we got to our new home here, which I don't know, was about maybe 12 years ago or so. And when we got here, I was going to install the new shower filter here as well. Whoop, I'm sorry, I just got I'm not going to share that story. I just got a nod to not do that. So, okay. Let me just let all of that go. Perhaps I was in my ego or my agenda. And let me just let all that go. Okay. So I am going to share with you a story that Laura and I needed to get a new car. This was probably back about 8 or 9 years ago, but I think coming up to 9 years. And we didn't know what car to get. And we looked and we looked and we couldn't find anything. And then I got a message from Spirit that said, learn about glutathione and there will be a car waiting for you at the end of your studies. And I had never even heard of the word glutathione, so I knew it was legitimate guidance. And I looked it up and I found that it's one of the greatest detoxifiers there. It is the greatest detoxifier that I know of, that is far greater than any food or blueberries or any of that. And it actually is activated within the body. And so I studied and I'm like, oh my God, this is fantastic. I never knew about this. And what do I need to do to activate it? And so I found out that unprocessed whey from dairy, unprocessed, I think cold pressed or something like that, has high amounts of glutathione in it. And will help activate it in the body. So I also was given a vision by Spirit of a silver sedan after I learned about the glutathione. So I completed the lesson about the glutathione. I was super excited to get it, knowing that it was going to help to detox my body, of which we all need these days because there's so many pollutants in the air, the water, the foods. I mean, it's just kind of the way of life these days. And so when I learned about it, I'm like, let me go out and get this. Let me go out and get this thing, this glutathione. And as I was driving to the health food store, I kept getting pushback from Spirit to not get it. And I'm like, oh my God, no, I want to get this so bad. I had such a strong attachment to getting it, particularly after I learned what it did. But like the shower filter, with filtering out chlorine out of the water, I was asked to let go of the shower filter, changing that, and to trust that the regular water would be blessed coming through. So I did that, and the same thing was happening. It happened with all the vitamins I was taking. I was being asked to let go of it and let God handle everything. And the same thing was going on with the glutathione. And I had, after learning about this, being so excited about it, I so badly wanted to take the glutathione. But again, the pushback was to not take it and to trust, to have faith that everything would be handled. So I did it. I turned around, I came back, and I'm not going to deny my disappointment, my sadness, my fear that I wasn't going to get enough through my body. And so I get home, and Laura says, I got thinking, we've been looking in Detroit area. I thought I would check Ann Arbor, and I came across this car in Ann Arbor, and she showed me a picture of a silver sedan. It was a Toyota Camry. And so I'm like, perfect. And I told her the story, and so we set up an appointment to go meet with a guy. On our way there, I said to Laura, I said, you know, I hate to say this, but we agreed that we would not go over $10,000, which is our budget. And to be honest with you, I'm feeling really uncomfortable about this because they were asking, I believe, $13,900. Might have been 13, I can't remember. And Laura said the same thing. She said, I'm also feeling the same thing. And I felt bad, but I said, well, let's go meet up with a guy. We're already scheduled, and we were on our way. It's about an hour away. We met up with a guy, and first thing I said is, I'm so sorry. We realize that this is beyond our budget. We didn't want to leave you hanging, and so please forgive us for doing this. And he said, I'm selling this car for my father, and he really said as long as I get $9,000 for it, he'd be okay. Well, we had a budget of $10,000. We gave him a couple hundred extra because he offered $9,000 to us. We gave him $9,200 just as our gratitude. And Laura said to me, did you see what was on the license plate? And I said, yes, I did. It was my initials, BLK. Has been a great car. It's been a fantastic car for almost 9 years now. We don't know what life will bring us. We truly don't know. But these are some of the things I do know. It's best to let go of all your attachments as to how your mind thinks life should look. And it's easy to get caught up in, as I sometimes say, the quagmire of life, dragged through the mud of life by injecting our own agenda into what we think life should look like, how it should be, or what will bring us happiness, what will bring us good health. And when we look at sages like Jesus or of Buddha, Krishna, all the great sages and saints, how is it that they performed miracles? How is that? Because if you consider walking on water, raising people from the dead, healing the blind, it doesn't make sense. From the mind's perspective, it is not logical. And if you had a friend, if I had a friend, and they were going to walk on the water, and it was deep water, and they were going to walk on water because they were called to do so, I would say, don't be an idiot, is probably what I would say or think. Although I begin to question it more and more. Like, who am I to judge? And I actually find myself more and more where people say, this person's crazy. I don't say that much anymore. Yeah, there's some people that are far out there, but I try to remain as innocent as possible because I see that by leaving the shower filter off, all the songs in my head turn to good songs, where now there is a healing energy that flows through the shower by me trusting to not put that chlorine filter on there. By the way, I am not suggesting you follow any of this. If you feel called to, it may be you feel called to put the shower filter on there. That might be the first step, so that you're taking a greater action and taking better care of your health, this body, this temple. And it may be that you need to take vitamins to get yourself back on track. Or it may be that you let those go and trust that God will provide you exactly what's needed when it's needed. I am not here to tell you that one way is better than the other. I am just simply helping you to let go of all the stuff that we hold on to, that we say, this is how it's supposed to be, as we make it black and white, because that is the only thing our mind can see. The mind can't see the miracles. It doesn't believe that you can walk on water or heal the blind or raise the dead. Yet Jesus says you can do all these things that I have done and even greater things. And with the mere faith of a mustard seed, you can move mountains. Have you ever seen the size of a mustard seed? That's super small. But it's just that little bit of pure faith and trust that all things are possible. I love in Star Wars, which is one of my favorite movies, when Yoda asked Luke to raise his X-Wing, I think it was called an X-Wing that he was flying in, to raise it from the mucks, from the swamp. And Luke said, it's far too big. And Yoda said, no, you don't believe, you don't trust, you don't have faith. Size doesn't matter. It doesn't matter how big it is. So we have all these stories conjured up in our heads of what's possible and what's not possible. And I reflect back on something my teacher had wrote down. When you move beyond the limitations of the mind, all things are possible. If you want to touch the far side of the moon, you can touch the far side of the moon. If you want to see the end of the galaxy, you can see the end of the galaxy. Don't limit yourself, my friends. Don't limit yourself. I invite you right now to let go of all these limited thoughts and beliefs that would have you believe that you are less than pure love, God, and truth. I know. The mind says when they hear that you are God, you are one with God, the mind feels that it's almost blasphemous. What? You're telling me that I am God, that I'm one with God? That I'm a drop out of the ocean of God, the pureness of God? the more we recognize that we are no physical shape or form, that the conscious awareness of who we are doesn't require any physicalness whatsoever. When we fully realize we are not any form, anything physical, the only thing left is the emptiness of who we are, the nothingness of who we are. And there's no beginning or no end to this nothingness. We are the vastness. I don't even think vastness can really properly describe it, because vastness indicates there's some kind of size to it. But it's not about size. It's not about big or small. It's about completely empty, the complete nothingness of who we are. And of course, that is the antithesis of what the mind wants to create, not to be nothing, but to be somebody, somebody. Somebody special, somebody rich, somebody famous, somebody successful, of what success looks like. Has all these stories of what it means, and it fights to be these things. To get approval so that you are loved, so that you are not alone, that all these people like you and approve of you. I'm inviting you to let all of that go right now. Just let it all go. And I also invite you just to look at, is there anywhere that you need to travel to in order to discover this truth of who you are? Do you need to walk somewhere? Do you need to reach out for it? No. There's no distance between you, between your body and your true self. Really, we think that our true self is contained within the body, but really the body is contained within the self. Whenever I have a thought that I am aware of, that I feel is limiting in any way, I become aware of it and I release it and I let it go. Because what I recognize when I come from my true self doesn't get cold or hot. It doesn't get sick. It doesn't need to eat. There is no limitations to it. All things truly are possible. And when I had my awakening in 2015, for, I always say about around 6 or 8 hours, I suppose, it was in that place where I was looking at, for the first time ever, perhaps, first time I was conscious and aware of it that I know of, that, oh my God, I'm not all these thoughts and beliefs about who I think I am. I'm not any beliefs and in fact, I had the epiphany in that moment with God, or as my true self, all things truly are possible. The only thing that is impossible is when I come from my limited beliefs. That's it. So for me, and this might sound crazy or out there to some, I don't know, it's okay. You can notice it and see if you're limiting yourself at all. I don't say that I can't fly. I don't say that I can ever get cold or hot. My mind tells me that, and I believe that sometimes. I identify, my small self sometimes identify with that truth. But when it comes up, I notice it and I let it go. Jesus, as we know, visits many people at the same time. How can he be in all these places at the same time? There's no limits. There's no limits. I once had a friend tell me a long time ago, could Jesus or God heal the world if they wanted to? And my answer is yes, they could. So the question is, why don't they? It's not about them healing the world. It's about us, you, returning home to you are to see that there was never anything to heal in the first place. That you are already whole, you are already complete. Please know that when I say that, it doesn't mean you can't work on healing or growing. You know, I don't want you to ever think, because I know all of us are out there doing the work, but there also comes a point in time where we recognize there's no work to do. We are everything that we have already been working towards. We are that peace. We are that joy. We are that love. We are that God essence. We have always been that. We will always be that. And there's nothing you can do to ever deter that truth. The only thing you can do is stay caught in the illusion that you are not that. You know, I'm just having one of those moments where I feel so grateful for what I'm presenting right now. For me, for my small self. I feel so grateful that I am blessed to be a part of this energy, this aliveness, this truth, over and over again, 6 days out of the week, to continue to let go of who I'm not and remember who I am and who I have always been and who I will always be. And so I'm grateful also for you to join me, that you also have a chance to completely let go of and empty out all these limited thoughts and beliefs that block us from being infinite possibilities. Not because we're special, not because we know something that somebody else does. No, it's more likely that we let go of something that we thought we knew. We let go of all these old beliefs, this old way of thinking that is only trapped in the logical mind. I'm inviting you right now to transcend the logic. Transcend the mind where you've looked to it for your intelligence, for your memories, and find something deeper that is you and has all the solutions to any single problem there has ever been. You know, when you attend a Muji retreat, people ask questions at the beginning. But basically his response is always the same. Leading people back home to the truth of who they are, where he says all questions are answered. It's true. When you recognize the core self, all those questions that you have fall away. How can I get the right job? How can I heal myself physically, mentally, emotionally? How can I find the right partner? How can I live an abundant life? It doesn't matter what question you have. When you return home to the truth of who you are, all those questions are answered, because there are no questions. There are no questions. The core self is complete, is whole, is perfect. There's nothing to fix. There's nothing broken. There's nothing to heal. It doesn't mean you have to stop doing those things, because we are, of course, having this human experience. And until we move beyond the person, the personality, the ego, the thoughts, the beliefs, the feelings, and we recognize that we are not that, we will probably feel drawn to still do certain things to heal and grow. And that's okay. I don't want to make that bad or wrong. Life is juicy. Life is fun. It's playful. But when we're caught up in our attachments, our desires, then we get pulled into of how we think life is supposed to look. And of course, life and God are bringing us something that is exactly opposite to that many times. Why? Because life and God see what our thought process is and how we're limiting ourselves. So life comes along and says, hey, look, I'm giving you this lesson so that you can recognize you're identifying with this belief in some way that is limiting you on who you truly are. You think you can't walk on water. You think you can't raise the dead. You think you can't heal the blind. You think you can't completely bring the body, the mind, and everything about you back to 100% perfect health, emotionally, mentally, physically, and spiritually. No. The core self has no limitations. And so it's in cahoots with life, with God, in bringing you lessons to help you to become aware what's blocking you from being the truth of who you are. And that's why we can rejoice and give thanks for every single thing that happens in our life. And be aware when the mind's pushing back saying, no, this isn't right. This isn't right. God messed up on this. This can't be. And the mind will fight and kick and struggle because it doesn't want to feel the pain. It doesn't want to let go of its attachment as to what life it thinks is supposed to look like. But the more we recognize this, that these are just thoughts. These are just thoughts that are limiting us and are not the truth, the more we can become aware of them. Oh, I see my mind is wanting to fight life right now. I see my mind wants things this way. It's okay. Let me just return back to the present moment. Let me just return back to the truth of who I am, which is conscious awareness. I am the one that is a witness to those beliefs. I am the one who is a witness to life. I am the one is a witness to feelings and thoughts and my experiences and my five senses and my body and my mind. I am the one who is a witness to all things that can be seen. But I am the unseen, because there is nothing physical about me. Right now, I invite you to let go of all things that are seen. Let go of holding on to any of them, including your body, including your mind. You don't need to hold on to them. They don't exist because you're holding on to them, which is just creating effort. I'm inviting you to let go of all effort right now, all trying, and just simply be here now. Be as the silent and empty truth that you already are. Do you hear the silence? Just listen. Listen to the stillness. Listen to the silence. There's nowhere to go. There's nothing to do. Any thoughts you have, just let them pass by. Just empty them all out. And just be here. Be here with me right now. Be fully present. Meaning that you don't need any single thing about you or someone else or about the world to be any different than it is. Just let all that go. That's all of the mind. Just be with me right now in the pure isness of who you are. The pure beingness of who you are. What is that? That is just you, the consciousness, the awareness of all of it, the stillness, the quietness. I don't even want to say quietness, just pure silence. Are you with me? Are you with love? Are you with peace? Are you with the bliss of God? Are you with God itself? Are you as God itself? Any thoughts or any struggles from the mind that comes up against that, I invite you just to notice that and allow it to pass on by. And it may come up 10 times, may come up 100 times, 1,000 times. It's okay. It's okay. The mind can completely be busy, and as long as you're just noticing it, allowing the thoughts to pass on by, there's still peace. There's still presence. There's still you. It doesn't matter what the mind says. It doesn't matter what the mind feels. Doesn't matter what the mind believes. You're just simply a witness to all of it. That's all. And so just bringing your awareness to your breath. And just notice how the breath happens all by itself. There's no trying, there's no effort required. And when the thoughts come in, just allow them to gently and effortlessly pass on by, knowing that you are not them. And so as you allow them to pass on by, just come right back to the present moment. Come right back to just being aware of your breath. Or maybe being aware of the silence, the stillness that is there in between the thoughts, in between the breath. But it's always there. And let's just practice this. And if your mind is drifted, just come back to being aware of the breath. And sometimes when we're meditating, we lose the physical sensation of our body. And I personally find it a good time to remember that I am not my body. I am the one that is able to be aware of my body. And so just being aware, just noticing the body, and noticing that you don't require anything physical to be conscious and aware of your body, your mind, your thoughts, your feelings, your beliefs, any of that, your experiences, your five senses. You don't need anything physical for awareness. None of the physical is awareness. You are the non-physical, formless awareness. And just coming back to the present moment, back to home, to who you are in the awareness. And again, just coming back to the present moment, coming back to whatever focal point you're using to bring you back home to who you are. Stillness, silence, the breath, they're all perfect. going to begin to bring this meditation to completion. So if you'd like to continue meditating, please either mute or turn your device off. And thank you so much for joining. And for those of you who are ready to finish up, just taking in a nice deep breath. Re-energizing this wonderful physical body that gets us around in this life, and maybe move it a little bit, stretch it a little bit. And taking your time, and whenever you're ready, opening your eyes. And see, I think we only had one person join today, so let me go over to Facebook and see if somebody might, and maybe move it a little bit, stretch it a little. Let's see here. I don't know who's out there. If anybody wants to type anything, or if not, that's fine too. So thank you for joining me. Thank you. My eye's a bit out of it here again. So any case, let's see, Michelle. Hi, Michelle. Let's see. Whoops. Got something blocking it here. Let's see. There we go. Simply lovely and calming. Good, good. Thanks, my friend. Thank you. If you don't mind, I'll take some prayers on my eye again today. It's a bit funky. All is well, right where I need to be, I'm sure. But I'll take any extra support I can. So thank you. And Zoom tomorrow night at 7 o'clock, either Zoom or Facebook. Okay. All right, Michelle. Thanks for joining. Have a beautiful day, my friend. All right. I love you. Bye. And the eyeballs again. Yeah. Thank you.